Hello and welcome to an Everyday Canines video. This is the Weave Game series, and in this episode we're looking at teaching rear crosses on weave poles. Okay, so what's a rear cross on a weave pole? Okay, a rear cross on the weaves is when I start on this side, I send my dogs into the weaves and I need to get to the other side. It's a very useful handling manoeuvre to have, especially if you're a slightly slower handler and you can't necessarily race your dogs through the weaves. It is, it's one of the things that it can really be useful. It's also quite handy if you have a setup where you need your dog to go in and then turn back on itself on the opposite side. So you want to be over there, but you don't want to run up all the way up and have to blind cross and etc. So this can be a game that really challenges your dog. I know a lot of dogs struggle with this because they're used to their person, a handler, running with them. When you start to have a situation where you cross sides, if they're reliant on you being beside them, they go, oh, what did you do? When Sparrow was younger, because with my original agility dog Merlin, I couldn't run with him when he was in the weave pole. I had to stick by his side. Because of that, when I taught Sparrow to weave, I obsessed about running with her. I wanted her to weave with me running. It was a thing because I'd had the problem with Merlin. But it went the other way to a situation where if I didn't run with her and race her through the weaves, she popped out and I had to really then completely retrain to get that. So I realised then that you've got to have that balance between when I can run with you and when I need you to work ahead of me. So this is a good game to see if your dog needs you to be ahead of them. So what we can do to start and help our dogs is we can have a toy out. I'm going to put this out. Okay, come here. And then what I can do, and I'm going to make it so I am actually rear crossing. It's going to be a very shallow rear cross. So with this one, I'm going to send her and I barely have to walk a pace to be rear crossing her. So it's very subtle. I could technically do it before she even starts weaving, which would be cheating. But that is something that you might find yourself doing to help your dog. We do these things. We think, oh, I've done that really well. And they go, oh, I cheated. That's when filming is really good because you can look and you go, oh, I really... Because we have this unconscious desire to help our dogs get it right. It's natural. So what we're going to do, I'm going to stay here. I'm going to wait until she's in that first weave pole and then I'm going to move across. Okay, ready? Swift it. So I didn't ask you, ready? Come here. Pulse, 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 pulse. Good girl, get it. Now you can see how determined she was to drive forward to this toy. If you've got a dog that doesn't run towards a toy readily, you might need to get somebody to help you standing there and call them through to begin with. Okay. Let's make it a bit harder. So this time I've got to move a bit further for the rear cross. In some dogs, if you start to rear cross when they hit the first weave pole, that's too soon. They haven't turned back on themselves, that is too much. So what you have to do sometimes is wait until they've hit the second pole. Ideally, I want to be able to rear cross before my dog's even entered that first pole, because it could be a situation where I need that extra bit of speed. Okay, pulse, pulse, pulse. Nice, good girl. And did you notice I forgot to put the toy out? But she still did it, bless her. I forgot myself, mummy screwed up. Okay, so you're going to work this both sides. You may find one side is easier than the other. Remember that your dog always goes in on the left shoulder, never on the right shoulder. Okay. Okay. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Yes, good girl. And you notice that I'm not running too fast at the moment. I'm just walking it. I'm just letting her find it. Sometimes when you're doing this and you run fast with the dog, when you've rear crossed, because you appear on the wrong side, that throws the dog. So at this stage, I just walk it. However, I could run it. Also, by sending around this way, I'm making it quite a nice angle in. Okay, ready? Pulse, pulse, pulse. Yes, good girl. Nice job. Good. Okay. Once you're getting that, so they're really successful on that, then you can make it really hard. Yeah, you can. There you can. So, I'm still going to be this side of my dog, but now I'm going to be cutting a really sharp angle. On the other one, because I was virtually here, it was just a step, so it's quite shallow and the dog is going, well, she's still on the same line. This time, my motion is going to be going like this. Can you do it? Let's help you along. We're going to put the toy out for you. I think she'll do it, but don't hurt to help do it. Okay, ready? Ready? Come here, rep. Rep, 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 rep. Pulse, 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 get it. No issues there, she says, no issues there. So obviously we'll work both sides, but let's make it even harder. Now I'm requiring her to turn back on herself while I'm going in a different direction. Sparrow Swift. Okay, ready? Ready? Come here. I want you to go this side. Okay, ready? Rap, 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 rap. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Yes, get it. Nice. Okay. Okay, so now we have done a quite tough line, and we could make this really hard. I could do this coming down here. In fact, we will in a minute. So now we've done quite a shallow angle and doing it really pushing. Now we're going to cut into her line. So this time I'm going to be this side of the cone, and as she comes round, I'm going to be pushing round. So it's a double rear cross because I'm going to rear cross her once and then twice. Okay, ready? Ready? Obviously I'm not going to stand on her. Rap, 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 rap. Pulse, 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 pulse. Yes, good girl. So you see how much I pushed into her. On some dogs, that would be it. That would be like, nope, I'm pulling off. So we'll try on the other side. So again, I want to be this side so that as she's coming, now this is going to be hard. I'm going to put your toy out for you. Okay. This is going to be hard because she's got to really turn away from me. Okay, ready? Rap, 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 rap. Pulse. Oopsie. Okay, ready? Ready? Rap, 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 rap. Pulse. Pulse. Oops. See, we might have trouble here. Let's move it up one. So we've found a little bit of a flaw. Ready? Rap, 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 rap. Pulse, pulse. Too hard, she says. Ready? Rap, 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 rap. Pulse, 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 pulse. So that's too hard. Okay, dokie. That's too hard. Let's take it back to a level we know she can cope with. Okay, rap, 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 rap. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Yeah, get it. Build that confidence back up. So we can see there's a level there that she needs work on. Okay. Nice job. Now, there is an extreme level you could do on rear crosses. I might do it on the right. I think she'll have a better job of it on the right. This is actually really hard. What I'm going to do, I'm going to ask my dog to weave, and I'm going to completely rear cross them. Okay. I'm not sure if she'll do this. Okay. So I'm going to ask you to weave this way. Where am I going to go? Because that's an easier way for you, yeah. So I'm going to start here, so I'm not as far back as I could be. Okay. Let's get myself right. Okay. Okay, ready? Rap, 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 rap. Pulse! 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 Oh, that was too hard, she said. Okay. So this time I'm going to make sure she's gotten into at least 2 of the first pole. Ready? Pulse! 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 Yes, get it! So see, that is hard. That is hard. That is really breaking your motion away from the game. Good girl. So play with that. Have lots of fun. Go back to straights to build confidence when you've done this for a while. Good girl. I hope you've enjoyed this Everyday Canines video. If you have, you might like to subscribe to the YouTube channel and check us out on Instagram and Facebook. And I hope to see you all again very, very soon.